What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name is Ahmed, and welcome back to yet another video. Today, I'm discussing with you Black Panther. I know, it came out last year, but I eventually watched it. I watched it this month because I was gonna go watch Guardians of the Galaxy, which, by the way, is going to be my next review as well. So I finally watched Black Panther and the Guardians of the Galaxy in the same month, and I gotta tell you, two of the best Marvel films that have come out in the last 2 years, easily. Okay, I can top that and say two of the best Marvel content that has come out in the last 2 years. So let's talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. One of the things that this film does well, and thanks to the director, they take Chadwick Boseman's death and do not try to replace him in the film. Rather, they show you the effects of what happens when someone they love passes away, and that does form a big part of what Black Panther Wakanda Forever is. It's a passing of the torch from Chadwick Boseman's character King T'Challa to his sister. It also shows you the real life effects of someone you love passing away. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is sort of a testament to what Chadwick Boseman would have wanted in the film. I know it's a big statement for me to make, but it is something that I truly believe in, and it's an ode to Chadwick Boseman, and the director does a really good job in telling the story correctly and without tarnishing the original source of the comic and retaining a lot of the ideas that he had for the film. One thing that you need to remember is the fact that the film is very raw, it's very genuine, it's very emotional, and all of this comes from the writing of the film and how it's approached. Like I mentioned earlier, Chadwick Boseman's death had a big impact on how this film was perceived, how this film was going to be made in the future, that it allows the characters around Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa to grieve, and it also allows the characters to grow on their own and create a lot of the emotions that this film has been able to do. Of course, the direction and the writing are not the only two things that actually play a good part. The emotional core of the film does come from Angela Bassett and Letitia Wright, who do a wonderful job and have their screen presence in a way that leaves you wanting more of their characters, at the same time not missing Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa. It allows the characters to grow. This is something that was missing post Endgame with Marvel. I will make a video on why Marvel has not been doing very well recently, and there are a few points that I would want to bring up here as well. One of them is possibly fatigue from watching this many Marvel movies and TV shows in such a short span of time. Up until Endgame, we had to wait a couple of years, maybe a year, until a follow-up of a particular idea came across. Even with Infinity Wars and Endgame, the effects were lasting, the characters had growth, and with Endgame, the story should have ended there. Marvel being Marvel and the comic book genre being what it is, it tends to reboot every now and then, and we've seen multiple reboots of the same characters over the years, and this is one of those things where you will see a few reboots by the end of 2050, if we make it to 2050, that is. What really worked for Black Panther Wakanda Forever is the fact that even in tragedy, even when facing the loss of one of the biggest characters that they had in, with the loss of one of their actors, what they did was they still managed to write a very strong action-filled film, which has been missing in the case of Marvel in the last couple of years. I mean, you look at some of the kind of shows that they've put out, not the kind of Marvel quality stuff that we are used to, and I'm not a very big Marvel fan, alright. I'm genuinely not a big Marvel fan, and even I expect a certain level of competency from Marvel, which has not been happening in the last couple of years. I mean, DC does this kind of stuff, and I'm like, it can't get worse, and somehow DC manages to make it worse, which is an entirely different video altogether, which I've written it. I will put it out very soon. Overall, I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever is one of those action-packed films that does a lot of things right. Action, of course, the writing, the direction, the performances, it's visually really good, and overall it's one of those packages that I think a person watching it casually also will understand. Somebody who's a Black Panther fan will understand, somebody who's followed Marvel for, I don't know, 2000 years will understand it. Overall, it's a good film. It's definitely worth a watch, and I do hope you watched this video till here, and if you have, I'm going to leave a couple of links to the next videos right here, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.